Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling Today and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And to be honest, at points during this show I thought it was Raw out of 10 with the amount of bloody Raw superstars on here. But yeah, NXT out of 10, Stand and Deliver's getting closer, or Raw and Deliver, I'll shut up about it now. But yeah, NXT, lots going on. Of course we had a new champ last week, so let's get straight into it with Miz TV on NXT. Yes, you heard that right. He was with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, who were the guests, and we learned that Bron Breakker had stormed out the arena, running around looking for Ziggler. Dolph and The Miz interrupted about his title win when LA Knight came out and demanded a title match. The former told him that he wasn't big enough star to bother facing. Knight said that he wasn't convinced that Ziggler runs the show now and wanted to see it for himself. Ziggler gave in and said that he could have the match later tonight. And yeah, this is a good start to NXT. Of course, Miz coming on gives them star power and elevating LA Knight as well. So yeah, this was good stuff. Before backstage, Corey J ran off with Toxic Attraction's title and they were left unattended before he got Cameron Grimes versus Santos Escobar. Trick and Mello were out to spectate the match from the announce desk. Grimes had the early advantage and Legado distracted him from ringside, allowing Escobar to drive him on the apron. Back in the ring, Escobar got an earful on Grimes before locking in a hold. The latter hit a Hurricane Rana to send his opponent outside for a big dive. Back in the ring, Escobar connected with a knee strike before Grimes got a super kick. Grimes went for the cave in, but Escobar countered and hit the Phantom Driver to pick up the victory. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match. And probably the right result for me. Good to see two pre-NXT 2.0 guys going at it, because yeah, this is a great match. Before backstage, Toxic Attraction looked for their titles and ran into Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai backstage. Before it was time for A-Kid versus Kushida. Yeah, great to see A-Kid make his NXT debut. Been a big fan for a while in NXT UK, and he took Kushida down early on. The two traded takedowns and holds before Kushida reversed the backslide and locked in a crossface. A-Kid reversed the hold but took a slam before Kushida got an earfall. The former got a big German suplex off a counter and an Northern Light suplex for an earfall. A-Kid then hit a springboard DDT and picked up the victory. Yeah, kind of a match of two halves for me, or a result of two halves. I mean, like, please A-Kid won. Hopefully he gets a push, but for Kushida, man, it's so tough just watching him lose after lose after lose. Before backstage, Santos Escobar called himself the greatest luchador of all time before Rey and Dominic Mysterio showed up and challenged him. The latter challenged anyone of Legado to face him on the show as it continued. This was very random. Before we got Saray versus Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton attacked Saray backstage as they brought their way out to the ring. The match started with Tiffany unloading on her opponent right off the bat. Saray tripped Stratton in the corner before taking a cartwheel splash in the corner. Tiffany picked up the win with a twisting Vader bomb. Yeah, 6 out of 10 from me. Decent match, and yeah, probably the right result for this one. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Games for another night then ran into each other backstage. They got in each other's faces before we saw Ciampa heading out to the ring, but not before Jacy Jane was searching backstage for Cora Jade and saw one of the belts. She tried to retrieve it but was caught in a latter's trap, who locked her behind a gate. Ciampa was out next and said he felt grateful for being able to do what he loved. He recalled the past 7 years in NXT before crowd chanted "Don't go." Ciampa said that he planned to go to WrestleMania week as the NXT champion but failed to do so. He said his future was uncertain before thanking fans. Tony D'Angelo then showed up with a crowbar but then dropped the mic weapon in the ring and picked up a mic. D'Angelo said that he could have taken out Ciampa from behind, but he respects him. He challenged the Blackheart to a match at Stand and Deliver. Ciampa accepted the challenge, but Tony hit him with a low blow and threatened him as the show moved on. Yeah, really going to put D'Angelo over one last match with Ciampa before he presumably goes to the main roster. This was good stuff. Next up was Indy Hartwell versus Persia Pirotta. Indy and Persia made their entrance together and tried to shove each other during it. The match kicked off and Persia got the early advantage with a big boot and got an earfall. Persia then dropped Indy on the turnbuckles before getting another earfall. Indy came up with a splash in the corner before Duke showed up and distracted her at ringside. Dexter showed up beside him and scared Hudson before Indy used the distraction to roll her over her opponent and pick up the victory. Yeah, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Simple victory, kind of a way to end this feud. I don't really know what it is, to be honest, but you know, it was okay. Gigi Dolan was then looking for the titles backstage and saw one of them on top of the dance, so she retrieved the belt, but Jade worked, shut her inside and blocked them before. We've already seen this before we got Raul Mendoza versus Dominic Mysterio. Definitely didn't have this down for NXT this week. Dominic got an early roll up off the counter and had an advantage as the match began. He hit an arm drag on a drop kick before getting dropped by from the top rope. The young Mysterio then got a springboard crossbody and a Rana before trying for a top rope move, but Electro Lopez ran a distraction and helped Raul drop him. Finally, Henry then showed up and took Lopez out from the apron before Briggs and Jensen came back in. Dom picked up the win after a shrug slash after Ray took Escobar out. Yeah, to be honest, this gets a 5 out of 10. It's just very random. Cora Jade was then in the parking lot during NXT and she stole Mandy Rose's SUV and the title before the latter showed up in the backseat. Both women started brawling in the parking lot and Cora took a beating as the women's champion and reminded her that she was not on her level. Rose took Jade out and sprayed her with spray paint before the show continued. And the Crew brothers were out next on NXT and called whoever attacked them last week out. MSK walked out and clarified they weren't the ones that did it. Imperium came on the balcony and the two teams bickered, and then it was announced a triple tag team match at Stand and Deliver, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, just going back to that whole title stuff, I wasn't personally a fan of it, but it is a show long angle, you can't really complain. Backstage, the calls of young veterans and Malik and Idris were being accused of attacking the Crees, and they both denied it. Malcolm Bobbins set up a match between GYV and the Crees next week, before we got Dolph Ziggler versus LA Knight. Ziggler had the early advantage, but took a big clothesline for a near fall. He took a neck breaker before being sent over the ropes. After a break, Knight blocked a zigzag and unloaded on the champ in the corner. Knight got a power slam before Windbreaker showed up and headed to the ring. The match was still underway and Knight got a massive suplex for a near fall. Knight almost got the win, but Rude lifted Ziggler's leg and Ziggler got a super kick in the ring and picked up the victory. Braun showed up after the match and challenged him to a rematch to Stand and Deliver. Rude tried to get him Breaker's way but was taken out. Ziggler accepted the challenge and walked off to show Wwenxt welfare. Predictable, but great match. And yeah, looking forward to the rematch and Braun Breaker getting another crowning moment. 7 out of 10 from me. Overall this week, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Pretty decent episode of NXT this one. Some really good stuff in there, like the main event. Enjoyed that. All of the Raw superstars coming out. It's a bit weird, especially in the series. But it did make an impact and elevate some of the storylines. So that's good as well. Some bits obviously not as good. But on the whole it was fine. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Don't what's going to dominate. Find out to the link description below for daily wrestling news and subscribe to my channel on screen right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching.